friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about the Going Global Youth Exchange Program through the 4-H organization. Before we go any further, I encourage you to get a nice hot cup of tea and join me for this video. For the 4-H Youth Exchange Program, this is offered to 4-H members in a senior category between the ages of 16 and 21 years of age. To the best of my knowledge, the program is not currently being offered given the COVID pandemic. However, I had the opportunity to participate in 2016. And so this youth exchange program gives 4-H members in Canada a great opportunity to take back some of your findings to your country. So for my experience, when I applied, I was first offered to travel to Taiwan. Although given that it was going to be my first trip outside of Canada, I was not comfortable traveling to that part of the world. I wanted to travel to some place where the culture was similar or more similar to Canada. So I was later offered an opportunity to travel to England. I gladly accepted it. Going to the UK, they don't have a 4-H program, but it was the National Federation of Young Farmers in the UK that was partnering with 4-H Canada to allow for this to occur. So when I went to the UK, I learned about their federation. And then when I hosted a delegate from the UK in Canada, they had the opportunity to experience agriculture in Canada. And so just to give you a brief overview of my itinerary for my trip, I went to Coventry. And from there, I went down to Cornwall, which is in the southern part of England. And that is where I spent the bulk of my stay. After leaving Cornwall, I went up to Derbyshire in the York or Yorkshire area. I got to spend a little time there. And then the final leg of my trip, I went to Oxford in Oxfordshire. And just to talk about a few things that I really enjoyed about my time in the UK, it has some beautiful natural scenery, including lots of rock and mountainous areas that were very beautiful to go walk or hike along. You could see a lot of sheep. Another highlight for me from this trip was attending the Eden Project in Cornwall. And so this Eden Project is a series of biomes that are made from a clear plastic. It resembles something similar to a greenhouse, but this plastic is made of ethylene tetrafluoroethene copolymer, if I'm saying that correctly. And these biomes are hosting two types of tropical life. One of them being a rainforest biome, and the other more of a Mediterranean. And so the rainforest biome encompasses the areas of Southeastern Asia, South America, and West Africa. And in that biome, you will see plants such as bananas, and cocoa and bamboo. It actually houses the largest indoor rainforest in the world, with over 1,000 different plants. Whereas the Mediterranean biome encompasses the areas such as California, South Africa, and Western Australia. And in that biome, you will see many colorful plants out in flower, as well as lots of tendriling plants and citrus, olives, and a number of different sculptures. And so this Eden project is known to be environmentally sustainable. It's very good at developing eco-friendly practices. More than half of the waste that they generate is recycled. There's also a fair percentage of it that is also composted or used to then make energy. I think less than 5% is actually transported to a landfill. So that's really great to hear. And these biomes are maintained in very humid conditions, and it actually gives you the feeling or the essence of being in a tropical location, even though you aren't when you're in the UK. Also in my travels to the UK, I got to visit a place called Truro. And for me, I thought this was neat because I was living in Truro in Nova Scotia, Canada at the time, and I thought it was really neat to also visit another place called Truro to see how the two places compared. One other spot that I got to visit when I was in Cornwall, they called the Lizard's Point, and this was identified as the most southerly point in England. One other thing that I saw in England that you have to see when you go to the UK is castles. There was castles everywhere, and they're beautiful in their design and their architecture. There's really a lot of beautiful things to see there, and it's something that you will definitely appreciate if you ever get the opportunity to travel to the UK. They also have a number of beautiful British gardens. There was also an outdoor theatre, and this was actually down by the water. And it was a spot to go to watch a theatrical performance and even just take in the surrounding scenery, colorful plants. So that was quite picturesque. A few other cultural things that I learned from my stay in the UK was that fish and chips is a very common cuisine there, and here in Canada, fish and chips is also quite common. However, when I was in the UK, I had fish and chips 3 times within a 2-week span, and so this was actually quite nice because I would normally not eat it quite that often. And one phrase that I learned from my first host family in Cornwall was when they say they are going out for tea, they are not necessarily having tea. Sometimes when they say going out for tea, they actually mean having supper. And so one of the first evenings that I stayed with this host family, I was a little bit confused. But then I realized once we were going out to eat a meal at that time of the day, it made more sense. However, they still do drink a lot of tea, and in fact this is a box of Cornish tea that came from England. They also enjoy lots of biscuits and cookies and pastries, so that's very much a part of the English experience. And one other food item in Cornwall that I learned about was something that they refer to as their clotted cream scones. And so to give you a bit of a visual picture of this, I like to think of them as a tea biscuit with strawberry jam and butter. However, in Cornwall and its neighboring community called Devon, they have a friendly competition as to the order that you layer your toppings on your biscuit. So in Cornwall, they like to put the jam on first with the clotted cream above it, also known as the butter, whereas in Devon, or Devonshire, they like to put the clotted cream down first with the jam on top. And so to somebody that is not from either of those two places, you may not think much of it, that they both would taste almost identical and that there really would not be much difference. However, to people from those two areas, they do like their distinctive identity for how it's made, and so I just found that to be interesting. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so if you wish to get more notifications when I post new content. And as always, friends, if you have any comments or any questions, please leave them below in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.